Hi everybody, my name is RB Alverna. Welcome to the YouTube series, The Backpack.
So let's unpack this last question. How has your idea of masculinity changed in 2019, Lewis?
So, I've been forced to think about masculinity now that I'm a dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just intentional about not allowing my son to experience or feed this idea of toxic masculinity to him, right? And so, just always challenging that idea, right? Like, so when I was younger, right, like I would fall. And then like I'll be legit hurt, and they're like, "Yo, get up, wipe it off, man up," that type of thing. Playing basketball. I also talked about this idea of like 7 minutes of heaven, right? We thought that's what it was back in the day. Like you find a girl, you spend 7 minutes with her, right? And like you think you're doing something, but you don't really know what you're doing. But like you knew that was like you felt like a man. You felt like that was masculine, right? Mm-hmm. But today, like my son, man, like. It's just different, man. He plays with dolls. I'm like, all right, whatever, cool. I was just telling Bottle today how he was walking around with my wife's shoes, and I'm like, dude, I don't think you want to start walking like with those shoes on because you're gonna hurt yourself. Like, it's real difficult to walk in shoes, right? I didn't look at it as like, oh, he's being feminine. It's just like he's just exploring. He's 2 years old, right? Okay. And so. I know that I'll probably get like backlash from that, right? But at the end of the day, like I think that we teach toxic masculinity by like constantly like drilling in this idea that like a man is supposed to be like this, and I'm gonna push that.
This is I never okay.
What do you think? You're the only one here who's not a dad.
So I didn't think he was capable of thinking about like that as a Christian.
Why'd you say that?
You didn't think he was capable of thinking that as a Christian?
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean?
To be like, yo, my son is playing with Miriam's
high heels.
And it's like, whatever. I just didn't expect to hear it. I wouldn't know how I would react as somebody that's not a parent, and I don't have to confront that. The reason why I was just taking it back is because I think that we have gotten better at letting everybody else do their own thing, while I still expect other Christians to be internally debating what they do in their own household.
How is walking in heels related to being a Christian?
I agree with you. I'm just saying from what we've known about like so many superficial rules about what you can and can't do as.
I'm not denominational. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're not. He's right. He's right.
Yeah, homie, I'm trying to understand.
You know what? You're American.
But even as an American, I don't think a lot of my boys will feel the same way that that like have that notion that I have right now.
So Braxton the other day, or I think a week or two ago, Ruby's dolls are like all over the place. So he's like pulling Ruby's doll by the leg and like just walking around with it. I see him doing it, and I'm like, all right, whatever. Because for me, I just think he's mistreating the doll, right? Because he's not holding the doll by like this. He's just dragging it. Just this morning, he's pulling up. He's upstairs.
So it was okay for him to mistreat it?
I don't think so.
That's what it sounds like.
If he was showing some level of emotion,
I just ignored it. I ignored it. But if he was like holding it and hugging it,
like kissing it, talking to it.
Oh wow! Right, I would right, but he wasn't doing that. He was mistreating the doll. Just this morning, he's upstairs in the in our closet, and he's rumbling through his mother's undergarments. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, right? So he's discovering certain things, but is it really our responsibility or should I really have said to him, you don't do stuff like that. You're not supposed to be touching a woman's undergarment, right? Regardless if it's your mother or not. Or you're not supposed to be playing with dolls.
You're not supposed to be touching your mother's stuff. I think some of this we could say legitimately like is objectively like, yeah, this is just dumb.
Right.
Or like, this is not your problem.
But like, I think so for me, a lot of times masculinity back in the day for me is about what you did. Masculinity today is about who you are. And I think that's the biggest difference. So I'm not even tripping over that because I know that that's not I'm not tripping that my son is playing with a doll or like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't trip because I'm like, yo, that doesn't mean that that's who he is. That's what he's doing, and I like differentiate that.
This is interesting because y'all come from it. Thinking about your sons. I'm thinking about my friends. I'm thinking about other men, and I won't even say how my idea of masculinity has changed. Really, it's more so how it developed because I think it's gotten better with time. When I think about masculinity and being a better man and being the better man, I'm thinking about the people that can say to other men like, yo, y'all are wrong. Like what y'all doing is wrong. Like who actually can be like, yo, we need to do a better job of respecting women. Like who can say that, yo, the way you're thinking is problematic.
Yo, you pushed me one
like
time.
who's like
You did that for me.
Really?
Yeah. We were at
masculinity.
we were at Pop's house. You basically.
Oh yeah, I did that. Yeah, I was manning up.
It changed my perception.
So I wasn't there.
Yeah, I was manning
No,
up. All right, so you know what? You know that's a good point. Thank you. We were watching the 30 for 30 on O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you was there.
Yeah.
Okay, we were watching the 30 for 30 on O.J. Simpson, and there was some things. Wow, you weren't. So you weren't saying anything problematic?
No,
I'm shocked
because for me,
No, I do remember it being Lewis and my dad.
Yeah.
but I remember what my perspective on the whole situation with OJ was. This man forgot who he was.
Okay.
No, but
okay.
this is what
Here's
we're talking about that.
We were talking about that basically. There was some victim blaming going on, or what somebody might from the outside say like victim blaming. I don't like labels because I think every discussion is more complex than what labels give them credit to be.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I remember people were saying like we all agreed. Everybody's gonna agree that OJ did bad things or whatever. But there's some like, yo, she could have done this, or she should have left, or she knew this, or she knew that, da 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 da. And what I was telling them was, I was saying like, yo, what y'all saying is problematic. Y'all not giving enough credit to first off, the dynamic between a woman and a man, the dynamic between a strong man and a woman, the dynamic between a famous man and a woman, the idea of this idea that women are supposed to take a certain amount of crap anyway. Like there's a lot of things at play that kind of like if you would show more appreciation for it, like if I knew that you wouldn't probably say certain things that you were saying. So I was saying to both my dad and Lewis at the time.
You
I was
connected
like,
it with the black and white thing, right?
Yeah. Of course, obviously. By the way, for any topic that we have about any type of discrimination or dynamic between two people, we can easily draw it back to race or whatever side you're on. And by that I mean in that conversation, and this does go into to masculinity, because I'm saying like in that time I had to be like, yo, my dad, like, yo, you sound, I mean my dad not too much, not too hard, but him, I just feel like, yo, you sound crazy right now, because Lewis was always the person that taught me stuff, honestly. So at that time I was saying like there's certain things that white people could say about black people that they might have a point, right? They might have a point if you're just looking at it in a vacuum. But if they had more of an appreciation of certain systems, certain pressures, certain trends, certain conditions, that wouldn't be the first thing that came to their mind, right? Like I know there's nobody that knows about the hood and all the things that's messed up with it than black people. But when we're having a conversation about certain problems, why is that not the first thing that that comes to our mind? Because we appreciate the things that took us there, that brought us there. Like we appreciate the systems that led us there and still has us there, to the point that how could that be the first thing I came up with? So I was thinking the same thing in that dynamic when we start talking about a relationship, a woman in an abusive relationship. If you appreciate the types of things that perpetuate these abusive relationships, the things that make these abusive relationships seem normal, the first thing that would come out of your head would be, yo, why did she do this or that?
So for you, masculinity is really being able to call out these things that
most
need to
definitely.
be addressed.
Right now, we need to be able to call out the people that's like, yo, I'm gonna still listen to that artist. I'm gonna still buy this person's product. I'm gonna still listen to that. Yo, she was asking for, like, yo, nah, I'm gonna treat her this way. I'm gonna do that way. Like the people that could be like, yo,
Like speaking against rape culture.
Speaking against rape culture, speaking against harassment culture, speaking against like I mean, I don't want to make it sound like it's revolving around women, but like being able to be like, yo, this is dumb. This is not cool. And still feel like
we probably do it more than ever now because we have a celebrity in chief who that's all he does all day long anyway, right? So I know for me, I as a father and I have a daughter, I can't be subjected to that, and I also don't want to be around or in situations where that's going to be the case, and it can easily we are in that situation more than we know.
So going back to the idea of masculinity, where are you on this? Like how has your definition or how you see masculinity, how has that changed for you today compared to when you were younger?
I know that growing the way I grew up, it was the wrong way. And I just refuse to raise Braxton the same way. Like he needs to be able to feel free to do whatever he wants to do. I'm not allowing no church to raise my kid. I'm not allowing who's raising our kids is me and Jay. It's that simple. So if we feel that this is what he wants, if he says to us, this is what I want to do, I want to do it.